We out of left field, it's time to get real with all the juicy hot topics that bring appeal. Like who's a Hall of Famer and who's the best team. Number one up on the power ranking, that's a prestige. Man, the outfield is mine, I'm calling left center. My name is Daniac, a name that you should all remember. Yoni, who you bringing on? Who's the guest spot? They better be bringing their A game. Come on, let's talk.
Episode number 8, boys. Number 8. That's 8 weeks of consistent exec talk, nonstop fun, water cooler topics. We're having fun, aren't we?
We are water cooler.
So, guys, this week, another mystery guest. You guys know the drill. Get ready to go. Fogel, when you're ready.
I'm going to give it to Shiv. Shiv's the guest.
But just do the rock, paper, scissors traditional. Right. So you gotta see if you go for it.
I gotta earn it. All right, ready, Mitch?
Yeah. 3, 2, 1, shoot. Oh, okay.
Go again. 2 scissors over here.
3, 2, 1, shoot. All right.
Hey, Shiv gets it anyway.
Let's go.
So here we go. Mystery guest poem number, I don't know, 4 or 5?
4.
4? Is it 4?
Yeah. All right, I gotta focus.
In his 6th year playing in exec, not even Boom Boom would say he's Drek. You will never see him make any dives or slides, but with ease he can hit the ball to both sides. Not at all known for being a flash, but every so often shows up to the field with a mean porn stash. He's a big guy with lots of power, but not many home runs for this big flower. He's an athlete, and there are many sports where he's great. So who is my mystery guest for episode number 8? Now, Shiv, before you answer it, I want to remind everybody that Shiv said he would show his hairline if he didn't get it right. Now, if you need me to repeat anything, let me know.
I need you to read the whole thing again. I
think I have a guess.
Okay. This is a harder one.
Mitch, text me. Text me on the side. I need support.
I'm going to give you the things. I'm going to give you, I'm going to give you the lines that should definitely give it away. Okay. Not at all known for being a flash.
Yeah.
But every so often shows up to the field with a mean porn stash. Okay. He's a big guy with lots of power, but not many home runs for this big flower.
I got it. Rosenblatt. Let's go.
Final answer?
That's a crazy guest. How did you get him on here?
Mystery final guest, answer. Reveal yourself.
This is a quality guest.
And he puts ads in the top corner too. I love it. Look at that.
Oh shit. Hold on, let me change that.
Free advertisements on my podcast.
Big Rose was a text to Shiv.
Was it Rose? What gave it away? It wasn't an easy one, but it was definitely a gettable.
I'll tell you what gave it away was Mitch texting me the answer.
Was it really?
Yeah.
You couldn't get it from
then once he texted me, then it all fell into place. The flower, Rose,
the flower, the not being a flash, the hitting to both sides,
the
porn stash. What? Well, come on.
Years,
he shows up with a porn stash every now and then. No, Rose, don't you?
That's true. That's true.
Definitely. Of course. Yes. That's key.
It's absolutely key. Rose, having yourself a hell of a season. Batting in the 600s, gets on base a couple times a game, getting extra base hits for a big man. Not too shabby. What's different this year?
I give all credit to Federer for pumping me up because he's a very normal human being.
He's really up your butt. I noticed that a lot. The constant shouts of "You're a four, Rose! You're a four!" Classic.
Yeah, man.
Well, welcome to the show. First of all, you're not a first-time podcast guest. I mean, you do it in different leagues. You've done it in football, which me and Rose, I don't know if you guys know, happen to have a great connection. We're like a 1-2 punch when it comes to football. Rose is my Tom Brady. I'm his Gronkowski to his Tom Brady.
Yoni is the best Jewish tight end in North America. It's a known fact.
I love you, Rose. I love it.
Yeah.
We'll start off with the injury report. There's a lot of healed people that have healed and are back in action. this week, and then there's a lot of people that went down. So if you know anybody extra that I did not mention, please feel free to throw it in. Just get that injury report out. Tell us how long they are gone for. Bobot was out this week with a hamstring injury. Word on the street from his mouth himself, is that he is coming back this Tuesday. He's going to give it a go. He says it's been 3 weeks this Tuesday, so he's coming back. So that could change up the luck that's going on with JB, who's been slumping a little bit, at least this week, going 0 for 2 in games. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. Shane Goldstein missed this week. Do we have an update on him with the oblique injury?
He's back Tuesday as well.
Back Tuesday, feeling good?
He says he should be close to 100% by Tuesday.
The Bears can use him as well.
Yeah.
Ryan Frankel played. Greg Lozoff still out with a concussion. No timetable for his return.
No timetable. No.
Bram Schwartz, I hear, came back and played catcher. So that's good news. His first game of the season, I believe.
No,
I think he played two games this week too. So he played Tuesday night as well.
Tuesday night as well. Okay. Elon Gelbart back from injury. We have a new injury in Brad Buckman. First of all, Gelbart, that elbow injury must be affecting his catching, because I noticed a whole bunch of drops yesterday in right field for JB, but hopefully that elbow gets better. Buckman hurt his hip swinging at a ball, almost missed the ball, got a little tiny piece of it, came up very limp, and was not able to run the bases properly yesterday. So we'll see how that plays on. Rob Kovari still has his pickleball foot injury, decided to try to give it a go. And you know what? He did have the walk-off hit, but he did hit it to like 3 double plays also. Plotkin out with a calf injury, and Frank Siegel with a quad. Do we have anyone else?
Lior missed the whole week.
That's right, Lior.
And he's out Tuesday as well with Achilles. Thursday TBD.
Rose, according to your Feeder, your team is unfortunately completely healthy.
We are fully healthy, except Mitch White is gone for a few weeks on vacation. So it's not injury, but he's gone on vacation for a few weeks.
He's gone on vacation.
Very, very bad for umpires to be missing Mitch White, by the way.
Yeah.
Umpire scheduling getting very complicated.
Bring in Harry.
But a lot of rookies are getting some training in, right?
Yeah, Greg Cates.
Yesterday, I think we had Kobe White. Kobe probably had his easiest game to ump at the bases. Probably not a single close call. Nothing to worry about. It was the perfect game for him. He made no mistakes. I don't know if there were any mistakes to be made. Okay, I just want to get on to the next topic. So there's scary things happening at Trudeau Park. I don't know if you know, but T2 has been infested with bears this whole season. There haven't been many sightings of these bears on T3. This week, there happened to be a couple sightings of the bears, but I find that the bears on T2 are very aggressive and scary, and they try to go after your throat. But the bears on T3 are very tame, kind of like the Winnie the Pooh and Yogi Bear vibes.
Yeah.
Anything to say about that, Shiv?
I don't really know what to say, but we're 0-5 on T3, I think.
Actually, it's 0-3. I checked it up. 0-3 on T3.
I must have lost twice as a sub on T3 then, because I haven't won a game on T3 all year.
T3 is not your spot.
What is it about
T3? What is it about T3?
I think it's 0-5, but anyways.
I think it is.
0-3.
I think you're wrong.
I checked it up. 0-3 and 10-4 on 10-4.
I would challenge that. I think we're 0-5. But anyway, I don't know. It's just there's something about that field. We don't play well. Last night we had 8 hits. We scored 1 run. The last 2 games against the same team, we had 40 runs, a 22 and an 18, and last night we scored 1. Obviously, missing your 3, 4, 5 hitter, not the best. Had some good subs, present company included, but it's just when it's not your guys, it's not the same. No energy, very low energy game.
You need that spark. You need that Shane.
Need Shane, Lozoff, Lior. Even
Lozoff.
Fuchs, right? Like Fuchs is a yeller and a screamer. He gets the guys going, and he was missing yesterday too. So,
oh man, so yeah, that's a tough week for the Bears and for JB.
Standings really tightened up.
The standings definitely tightened up as PSB jumped ahead. Now that PSB is back in first place, we're definitely going to go over power rankings today. But we'll do that a little bit later. I wanted to go over right now just a bit of the skills comp. And Rose, you're going to give us your input on this too. There's going to be a skills competition and hopefully all-star game. The first annual Charles Tackefman memorial skills competition and all-star game, hoping something that can be kept up for many, many years, and may his memory be, he was a player in Exec, so it's only fitting, and hopefully his memory will live on definitely through skills competitions. I want to go over a few rules, but before I go over rules, I need to ask the viewers, people who are watching. There's over 300 people that are watching this podcast in a 96-person league. Surely somebody is going to be happy to give some sort of sponsorship to the skills competition. Right now, we have nothing. We're doing this, we're trying to make this as awesome as possible, but without sponsorship, it's going to be very, very tough. You can sponsor food, you could sponsor the field, you could sponsor swag, you could sponsor trophies, you could sponsor beers, or if you want, you could actually sponsor individual events. Like you could have your name in front of the hot dog eating contest or the home run derby. It could be your home run derby. All you got to do, come speak to me or Shiv. Let us know about your sponsorship. No sponsorship will be turned down, no matter how small or how big. We're very, very happy to get anything we can to make this event an amazing event. Shiv, you want to give us the date for the event?
August 20th, Trudeau Park, T2. I think likely around 3 p.m. we're looking to start. Hoping to have the city install the fence for the tournament so we can do a home run derby that's, fair to lefties and righties. And I might be interested in sponsoring the 240 plus race myself personally. And I'm thinking maybe if I strap an 80-pound backpack to my back, I can compete in that thing with you guys. So maybe something to think about there. Well, I think we should bring out a scale. You have to weigh in at 240. If you're under, you can add weight to your body to make yourself 240, and then you're allowed to.
I'm ready to go. I'm going to prove myself eligible today. I'll do that in just.
I'm going on an eating bender between now and August 20th to try to get up to about 170, and then I'm going to strap a 70-pound backpack on, and I'm going to take that thing down.
Hey, listen, as long as you make weight, right?
Yeah.
Rose, are you eligible?
I was going to say I only compete in the 265 plus.
Okay, so you and I will both be in there, maybe with Ricky Geller.
Yeah, exactly.
Yoni, you were supposed to weigh yourself live on the podcast today, by the way.
That's happened. Why do you think I have the scale right here?
Okay.
I'm not in my bathroom. The scale is here because I'm a man of my word. Should we get to that right now? So
let's get a number.
Okay, I say I'm going to give you 275.5 over under. You each have a guess.
I'm taking a soft over. Soft over.
I'm going under.
Rose?
I'm going over.
Over 275?
And a half. I have it 276.
271.
I have you at 280.
271.
Okay. Can you guys see the scale?
Yeah.
Yeah, but not the number.
Okay, when the number comes up, I will turn the computer that way. Here we go, okay? I'm wearing some clothes.
I like your feet.
Guys, my feet.
Your feet.
I just ate. So let you know that I just ate 275.2.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Good over under.
The hard over. Takes it.
It's a good line,
actually, no, it's 275.5.
Yeah, the under wins.
The under wins. 275.2, but I did just eat, so who knows about that? But guys, let me tell you, it's
great line.
It's a lean 275, Yoni.
It's a lean 275.
You carry it well.
So Rose, you're definitely eligible, right, to run in that race?
Eligible, but I won't be doing it. I could be the referee of the race. How about that?
You don't need a 270 plus referees. If we had a 270 plus ump contest, I would take that in a heartbeat.
Right. I'm just concerned that running at anything more than 50% speed might result in an injury, but we can discuss it off air.
What speed do you go at in games?
Say 25%.
You go 25%. You're telling me you can give me 75% more.
In the playoffs, he goes 75%.
In the playoffs, I try to go about 65%.
I do find you run a lot faster when you're chasing a ball than when you're running the bases.
Yeah, that's true.
That is correct. Yes.
Is it the cutting?
Rose will be asked while he's running the bases, Rose, can you make it to 3? And he will reply with a hard no. No. He'll pull up at 2.
He'd be like, why are you even asking? I've seen it. I've seen where he hit guaranteed triples and he's like, no, I'm stopping here. I'm not moving.
Honestly, stand-up doubles are kind of a thing. I'm a fan too.
Now what's
there's something nice about coasting into 2.
For real. I have faith in my teammates that they're going to drive me in anyway. So that's why I don't push myself.
That might be a mistake, but I respect it.
What you guys
Correct.
don't know is Rose is a Hall of Fame elect quarterback in the football league, in the probably the biggest flag football league in North America. He's a Hall of Fame elect. Now, how do you do that without being able to scramble at all?
The key is putting amazing receivers on your roster where you can get the ball out super quick, like Yoni. So that's how we do it.
Oh man, I should bring Rose on more often, guys. Okay, let's go with the home run derby. Now, this is the way I saw it. There's different ways of doing the home run derby. There's the old school and the new school. Back in the day, a home run derby was every player got 10 outs, and anything that wasn't a home run is an out. Do you think that's the way to go, or should we adapt like the MLB and just give everyone 1 minute? They have a minute to just hit bombs, and as many bombs as you can hit in a minute, that's the amount you're going to win.
I personally like the outs because I don't want it to become a thing of like how fast the pitchers, like, you know, if you're doing it by time, some guy might see more pitches than someone else. So outs is just consistent and fair for everybody.
Yeah, you guys agree?
Agreed.
Yeah,
So you think 10 outs is too much if you're having, because the way I saw it, and you could tell me it's wrong, but the way I see it in my head is that we make a pool of 16 players, and you put them head to head, kind of like bracket style. It's bracket style, head to head. Last man standing wins. You know, so you could either do it the top home run guy versus the 16th seed, and just seed it 1 through 16 and go 2, or you could just have fun and pull names from a hat. And you got this guy, you got this guy. What do you think?
I think you seed it. That's what MLB does. They seed it with the minutes. I would seed it with the outs.
Yeah, I think you seed it. And breaking news, Brad Buckman is confirmed in for the home run derby.
He is confirmed.
So I believe this is a battle for second place.
Not only listen, you never know. All somebody has
No, I know.
Pop outs now could be home runs, right? Because there's no
I think I know. It's a battle for second place.
Who took Buckman in the obviously that's number one endorsement.
With the third pick, by the way.
Should we allow the fielders to try and rob home runs so that it has to be a legit home run for it to count?
Absolutely. Line the fence with players trying to make plays.
Really? I would love
Why
that.
not?
It's amazing, right? Let them rob home runs.
The fence is very low. So
what?
The fence is very low.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying.
So you could
what
stand there and
just. You think we should
First of all, I just want to say I subbed for Brad's team last night. The outfielders, when he got up, were literally playing at 350 feet.
Yeah.
He hit 2 bombs over their head.
In fact, they weren't bombs.
They
were triples. He got out at home on one of them.
Because of the injured hip.
Yes, because of the hip.
But it was sent with no outs.
But he did crush them.
Yeah, he was sent with no outs. The way that this guy hits the ball, it is just a pleasure to watch. Nothing else to say. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I want to just say something. This could be a little secret out there, but Bram Goldstein, after Buckman's second hit, goes, I got to try Buckman's bat. He was deciding whether to use it or not. He decided to use it, and he hit a bomb, like a massive bomb with that bat, the first try with it. Now, could it be in the bat, or is it just
no, absolutely not.
Definitely not.
Doesn't matter.
It is not.
You put a toothpick in his hand, he's going to do that.
Agreed.
Bram for 5 minutes told me after the game I have to buy him that bat. It has nothing to do with the bat, but I got it 10 times. I have to buy him that bat. I already spent $400 on the bat, so I think he's on his own.
Yeah, you're maxed out on budget.
Yeah.
There we go.
Maybe we'll make that bat the prize for winning the home run derby. So give Bram a little extra incentive to compete.
Rose, as someone that's eligible for the home run derby, do you like the bracket style?
Yeah, I think the bracket makes sense. I mean, something you could also do is after the rounds go on, you could do like a reseeding.
Yeah.
Meaning like the top guy plays whoever is the next bottom guy.
Bottom guy
from
from his output. Like if he hit 14 home runs and the bottom guy hit like 7, do you play the bottom guy there or the bottom ranked guy?
The bottom ranked guy.
Bottom ranked.
Yeah. So that's a possibility, some way to do it instead of just like a full bracket. But I think that makes less of a difference, but I think the outs versus the clock is the way to go for sure, because you don't want it to be a different of some pitchers that could pitch faster. That shouldn't be an advantage for someone. You should go outs.
Yeah.
Yoni, you mentioned Rose is eligible. What's the criteria we're currently working off of?
If we're going with a 16-team bracket, the criteria is 3 home runs.
Oh wow! So I'm in the home run derby.
You're in the home run derby.
Let's go.
If you have two, you have 1 week basically, because I think we're going to make the cut after next week. You have 1 week to hit another one.
I like it.
Okay, but right now, as of now, there's 16. It may be 4 by next week.
I'm at 4, so I feel like I'm probably in.
We're going top 16. 4 is top 7, 8. So
Okay.
you should be good. Okay, so I like that. I'm super excited. I'm super excited about this skills competition. There's just going to be a few rules for each one. The hot dog eating contest, I think, is something we're going to start at the beginning, and we're going to face the hot dog eating contest so they can see the skills comps going on while they're pounding down their hot dogs. So they're going to have time to eat these hot dogs.
Good for Joel.
Yeah. By the way, Greg Lozoff claims that he is a sleeper to win the hot dog eating contest. Says he can take down 18 dogs in a sitting.
Zach Wise is a sleeper.
Bun included with condiments.
Wow.
Can we,
Zach
can
Wise
we
is a
bring
sleeper.
back? Can we
Well,
bring
Zach Wise
back?
doesn't eat relish or mustard. Just saying. He said no relish, no mustard.
I
Zach
think
Wise
it's
is very good.
it's a no condiment event though. You know, we're not putting condiments on the dogs.
No, I don't.
Zach Wise is
I don't
very
use
competitive.
condiments.
Very competitive, and he's already been talking about it. And I've seen him eat 8 dogs for dinner and a couple fries. So he's a sleeper.
Perfect. So I'm very excited about this. We have the hardest throw from shortstop to first base. I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna have 2 per team take a shot. You have 1 shot to hit first base, whatever your thing is. Like that's your highest speed. Those are gonna be quick events. The hardest pitch is gonna be obviously one person per team. The accuracy, 1 person per team. And we're gonna try to get as many people involved as we can.
I like it.
So let's get excited for this all-star. Let's get excited for to get out, have fun, bring your kids, have some food if people want to sponsor. And let's just make this a fun outing where everyone gets out, no fighting, just love and fun. That's all it is. So let's do it. Let's make this happen. Let's get hyped for it. For our next segment, just by the way, just the All-Star game. If there is an All-Star game, it will be a draft. So there's going to be, let's say, 22 people selected to the All-Star game, and there are going to be 2 captains, and we're going to draft. We're going to be drafting. Like the 2 captains will probably be either the captains of last year's finals or the top 2 captains in the league this year. We'll figure that out, and they'll be
Yoni.
Yeah.
Hot topic I'm hearing from people about the All-Star game. They want to know how it's going to work in terms of, will it be the 24 best players as voted as All-Stars, or will we be picking 2 people from each round? So we'll have 2 1s, 2 2s, 2 3s, 2 4s, 2 5s, etc. People curious how that's going to work. And how do we ensure that each team has a pitcher?
I think it's something we need to discuss this week and get down to the bottom of it.
I think the viewers should send you their opinions.
Yeah, absolutely. Viewers, if any viewers have opinions, feel free to reach out to myself, Shiv, Fogel, any of us. We're happy to listen, and we're definitely going to discuss it this week. I'd like to have an answer by next week's podcast on how exactly it's going to be selected, how it's going to work. Is it done by position? Are you taking people by position? Are you taking people by just top players? Are you taking them by batting average? It's definitely something that we're going to have to discuss and come to some sort of fair way of incorporating everybody, as many people as we can.
Sure.
So for the next segment, we do have a mystery call-in. Does anyone have a guess? Somebody who can give us some feedback on what happened this week. Anyone have a guess on who our mystery will be?
Greg Lozoff.
Fogel, any guess?
I was gonna say Gal. I know he's already been on, but I was gonna say Gal.
You're gonna say Gal? Any guess from you, Rose? No guess.
Give me Camille Rose.
Camille.
That
Rose.
would be huge.
Here we go. We're gonna let them in right now. Say hello to our guest.
Oh
boy.
Oh, look at that guy.
Stephen White. Connecting to
Steve.
audio.
He's connected. He's muted.
on mute.
Steve's been known to have technical difficulties on a group call.
It's okay.
I'm in, baby.
He's taking
Hi,
a
Steve.
courtesy podcaster.
I see Shiv. I see Rose. I love it.
And Fogel. He's
Now
there.
you know who the mystery guest is, so keep it hush until this episode comes out.
I will.
So I wanted to go over a few things. First of all, let's go over some power rankings. Now that we're almost finished the season, we're 3/4 of the way done. There's about 5 games left. How do you
six.
see this ending for how do you see the standings in the end? I want to start with you, Fogel.
I mean, the standings right now for me, if there's a top 5, there's a bottom 3. Although Steve White's team has been on a bit of a run, but I still sort of see the league right now as top 5, bottom 3. And I really think in the top 5, I mean, I haven't analyzed everyone's schedule, but 1 to 5, it could pretty much be anyway. So I think finishing 1, 2, 3 is probably a bigger advantage going into round 1 because you won't face one of those, for me, those top 5 teams. But really 1 to 5 anyway, you could slice it. I mean, we saw it move so much. We were in 4th, and now we're back in 1st. We were in 1st, and JB was up by a lot. Like things shift quickly. Half the teams lose every week. So I really think the 1 to 5 teams that are there right now, I think it's going to stay. Order, that's a TBD.
That's a TBD. Shiv.
Yeah, I agree with Mitch for the most part. Like, I think there's starting to separate a bit. I will say Mario and Feast on a roll. Lost to them this week. One of the 2 teams that lost to them this week. It was a really fun game, close 1-run game. Could have gone either way. A couple little mistakes we made late. A couple little errors, but I think you really want to avoid that 4 or 5 game if you can. So jockeying in position to get to 1, 2, 3, I think is going to be huge. I still think I don't know. JBC is tough. Like I was part of a subbing last night and they lost to the Truckers, but that batting lineup is scary. Like it's just like a lot of hard hitting lefties, and you run into that team on T3, and I don't really know how you get out of that with a win. So I think they're probably my 1. I think PSB, Gal's team, my team, and the Truckers, that's like a bit of a cluster. And I think Mario Feast is trickling up into that conversation. And I think, at least at the moment, Flint and the Bus appear to be on the lower end of things, but you never know what can happen.
Right.
Some teams get hot going into the playoffs. I've been there before. I think I won 3 games last year and then lost in game 5 of the final. So you never know what can happen.
Right now, the 4-5 game is Mother Truckers and Team Ezerzer. Ezerzer holds the home seed on in that round, but Mario and Feast just 1 point behind the Truckers.
Yeah.
So, like you said, anything can happen. Flint Tropics 5 points behind them. Now, tell me, Rose, as a player on the Flint Tropics, which team do you dread playing the most? Not because you hate the people, but because you know it's going to be a tough game.
What team is Yaren on?
JBC.
Okay. I find we always seem to play them on T3, which makes things worse with Burkowski and Yaren and all them. So we definitely have trouble with them. So they would be the team that I would probably, I think, like to play least. But what I would say is, especially for us, we happen to have played a lot of teams that somehow are always rolling 10, where we roll 12 a lot. So I just think come playoffs for all the more teams sort of near the bottom, the 12 on 12 really is a huge difference come playoff time. So that's when you really see, sort of how the full team chemistry is. And I think it's interesting. Even the bottom teams like us and the Bus, when we go 12 on 12, it could be a different story. So I think you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, I agree. Steve, I'm not going to ask you about the power rankings, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to get into this week's games. You have some stuff. I want to hear some stories from this week that you have to tell. You have at least a couple of them. But at the same time, we are playing the game. What game are we playing, boys? We're playing the game GOAT or Scapegoat. Okay, so now I want for every one of these games, I want you to give me who the GOAT was, like who did something to make this team win, and who the scapegoat was, who did something to make this team lose. So, Rose, I know you were only part of like 3-4 games this week, so I'll ask you about those games, but anything you don't know about, just say I wasn't there or whatever.
Yoni, can I give you my quick power rankings? I'll go through it very quickly.
Sure.
I'm ready for you.
Okay,
I think so. The top 3 teams is no one needs to repeat them, but FDI, clearly is having injured reserve issues. Some of their top players are on the injured reserve. I think this is all going to as per Shiv's plan, because he doesn't like playing from the top. He likes coming from the bottom and going. So I think he falls to the bottom of that ranking. I think JB Consulting had very favorable. I think they played 12 of their first 13 games on T3, where they're a menace. They're a lefty hitting over that wall type of team. But my top of the power rankings has to go out to my fellow lefty and Jay Portnoy. I know he's in MVP caliber this year, so they're a tough team to play. Mitchie Fogel and Jared Blumenthal on the bench. They're my number one. JB's my number two. FDI or Gal. The FDI might even fall below Gal at this point, but I think it's exactly where Shiv wants to be. Shiv wants to come from the bottom and go to the top.
Well, no, Shiv wants to finish in third at the least. He doesn't want to
I'll
get
go.
into that
I'll
fourth
go
line
anywhere,
thing.
Yoni. If you wanna, you wanna beat the best teams. I'll come from
Shiv
anywhere.
can go anywhere and win from anywhere as long as he gets his team back.
Need to get healthy.
All right.
Yes.
So we're going to start off this week's games, GOAT, Scapegoat. We're going to start because I want to hear some more from Steve. Steve, first of all, I heard there was a train wreck in the Mario and Feast when they beat the Bears 11-10 on T3. Now, what happened? Is the train okay, first of all?
Well, I got to tell you, I don't know if I can call out my friend Josh Adams as the GOAT in that game. I will say this: he's the only player in that game to get an extra base hit. Everyone else was held to a single, other than Josh Adams. So he decided to take matters into his own hands. Crossed in front of me on the first baseline. I did not see him. And at the last minute, the two of us must have collided. I blanked out in that minute. I think both of us ended up on the ground for a period of time. But it's probably the hardest I've ever run into anybody in any sport of any time. And I've had some pretty monumental sports collisions over my 56-year career.
No pickleball collisions yet?
No, not like that. That's for sure.
Not like that.
That was a real collision, let me tell you.
So, Shiv, tell me about that game. Who's the GOAT? Who's the scapegoat? You guys lost by 1 on T3.
Yeah, it's hard to really pick a scapegoat in a one-run game that was back and forth. It's really hard to say. I think both teams played pretty well, and we made plays. Everybody hit. I don't really have a scapegoat. There's not really one in a one-run game that ends in the bottom of the ninth with us having runners on base.
4 double plays. That's what
4 double plays. Was. Yeah, for sure. There you go. So let's go with that. Hitting into 4 double plays probably cost us the game. And then GOAT too, same thing. Steve pitched great. A couple guys hit great, but I'll give the nod to Lauren Crane. He hit the ball really well in the game, and he navigated 12 well. I thought they kept their defense competitive, even though it can be challenging with some of those pieces, moving them around. And I thought they did a good job of it. So I'll give the nod to Lauren.
So
for GOAT.
Last week, the Mother Truckers, this past week, the Mother Truckers played Ezerzer, but the week before, the Truckers had a tough week, getting shut out once, losing another game with not scoring very many runs. They were playing against Ezerzer this week, and in the 6th inning, I believe it was something like 6-0, and Caddy gets off the field. He sits on the bench, and he goes, "We're getting shut out again." Now, in my head, I'm like, no, I don't want them to get shut out, because me and Portnoy were umping that game. I didn't want them to get shut out because that takes away from our shutout when we shut them out, But Ezerzer are really stepping up on D lately. They're winning games. They 7-1, 6-1, 11-4. They're not giving up many runs these days.
No. Gal's really figured it out. I think I said it on the second or third podcast. He's throwing a bit quicker. And he's getting guys out, and he was getting hit hard the first 4, 5, 6 games, and he said screw it. I think he said sort of screw it, I'm gonna pitch a bit faster, and he's towing the line, sometimes a bit over, sometimes not, and it's working. So
I thought he did a really good job of staying up in the zone yesterday too, right? He didn't throw any pitch that was below the waist where you can really just kind of turn and drive it. Everything was up around the letters, and he induced a ton of weak contact. So.
Rose, quickly, tell us about Flint against Côte St. Luc. You guys won 12-10 against CSL Bagel.
Okay, let me just see if I was at that game.
I
Give
umped
me
that
one
game.
sec.
I don't
You
think
umped
Rose
that
was there.
game?
Did
I
you
don't
miss
think
the
Yes,
Rose
game?
I
was
was
there.
not there. I was
Wow.
not there on that game, but I heard there was a hilarious back and forth between Primo and Brad. So
What happened there, Shiv?
that's
What
my only
happened?
comment from that game. I think Primo started yelling at
So,
Brad, and Brad
yeah,
probably
there was
started
like
yelling at
a
Primo, and
there was a play like a buck. Everyone was playing deep. Buckman hit a ball, kind of like a ground ball up the middle, and Dubo went out to take a cut. The ball came in. Nobody was covering second base, and Primo was a little upset that no one was on second because Brad was able to just sort of, jog into second base with a double. I think Primo was hoping to hold him at one. Primo was upset with Dubo. The inning ended, and Brad has a very strong love for Curtis, so he kind of said like, hey, don't speak to Kurt that way. I think tempers were high. Primo got upset. Brad and Primo sort of started going at each other. I think there may have even been a small shove in there. At one point, I walked over to the bench and basically just said like, there's no section about this in the ump's handbook. Not really sure how to treat this, but I think the best thing is that we just stop. And to their credit, they did. Even complimented each other a few times by the end of the game on plays the other one made. So
right. But
maybe
let it be
hopefully they
known.
mended fences. Hopefully,
Yes, let it be known that is part of our team dynamic. We're
sounds
very into
sounds
getting
very
very
fun.
yes,
Yeah. Sounds
getting
like a
very
blast.
angry at each other and then loving each other towards the end of the game. It's part of our strategy. So don't get confused by Brad's genius softball mind.
It seems to be very effective at the moment.
Fogel, we have just about 3.5 minutes. I want to get over just two other games. Tell us PSB walk-off victory over JB. I know my scapegoat would be Darren or the base coaches.
Wow.
Darren twice in the game ended up running back into the tag. Now, there was one play, man on first and second. This was a weird play because originally it was called only one out, and I had to basically contest it and was given the double play. Man on first and second, Slep hits the ball right up the middle. Darren starts running. Okay, but the ball bounced and I caught it off a bounce. He starts running, and then the coach maybe told him, no, he got it. So he started running back. So I pick up the ball. Darren's on second. The other guy from first is running to second. I touch Darren, and then I don't touch the base. I touch Darren, and then I go and tag the other guy. And I say, that's a double play. I start running to the dugout. John Gal says, no, that's only one out. I said, no, it would be one out if I touched the bag first, because then I broke the force coming to second. But because I touched Darren, who is the force, he's a force going to third. I touched Darren, and then I touched the guy coming to second. Therefore, it's a double play. And so they reversed the call and made it a double play. But that happened twice with Darren, twice. Another time, he ran back to second base and got tagged again. But I think the base coaches were telling him, go back, go back. I just didn't understand it. He ran right into the tag. Like I was holding the ball, and he ran to me. I didn't have to go after him.
And the goat in that game was the podcast host. He had there was a huge moment. We were down by one, and he had a huge triple and to give us the lead, and then he scored on a great bluff he hit, and he played great defense. So the goat was Yoni, and I would agree the scapegoat would have been Darren for those plays. If he had Ryan Burke right after him, and you would have done damage.
Rose and White, these are for you guys. We have 1 minute, so I will let you know if we're like 10 seconds away from getting cut off. Tell us what happened at the end of yesterday's MF versus Tropic game.
Okay, so go ahead, Steve.
No, I said go, Rose. Go.
Okay,
Rose, you were there.
Very quickly. We were getting absolutely crushed, and they scored like 11 runs in one inning, and it was I think the 6th or 7th inning, and they were up by I think 15 at that point. And we just said, you want something? It's hot. We're no chance of coming back. Let's just call the game. And then on the way out, there was a little bit of some name calling from a few people that I won't mention their names. And, it was a classic. We were just getting crushed and some tempers were rising. But, the other team played a great game, and we're all going to move on from it.
For the record, that's the first time I ever saw someone in right field pick up the ball and throw it over the home run fence to end the game. Didn't want to play anymore, just threw it over the home run fence so they could score and end it. Listen, I just want to thank Steve. I want to thank Rose. Thank you for coming out, guys. It's always a pleasure to have you guys. Rose, so knowledgeable in sports. Whitey, you know what you're talking about when it comes to softball, 100%. So I really appreciate your guys' info. Fogel, Shiv, always amazing with you guys. Thank you to the viewers. Please, if you want to sponsor, let us know. Like and comment and share on the link. We need it. All the best, guys. Take care.
Thanks, guys.